What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. When I was over at WonderCon, I did visit other booths to look for Pops besides the main Funko booth, and this con was loaded with great stuff. So come along, take a look to see what they had to offer over at WonderCon. Alright, so our first stop is going to be over at Fugitive Toys, and if you guys know anything about them, they are at all the big cons, and they are always bringing a huge selection of Pops, older stuff, newer stuff. They always have the goods. As you can see right now, there is a ton to choose from. Just look at all these Pops. These are their cheaper ones down on this table here, and you can see a lot of goodies, and then look at the back wall, and this wraps around their entire booth. So if you're ever over at a con, definitely check out Fugitive Toys because you will definitely find something. Let's take a look what we got here. That Toys R Us Jinx, that White Lantern Superman, that was a Fugitive Toys exclusive. Really good looking here. And then look at their back wall, just so many older pieces, a lot of great pieces, just so much to choose from. Every different genre. Look at that Lotso there from Toy Story. Got a Wreck-It Ralph, it looks like. Just a lot of like older Disney Pops coming around. Their booth is gigantic. There is so much going on, and I just love seeing like a great selection of older Pops. As we zoom in, you see that Jolly Roger Glow, the Yondu from ECCC, Superhero Kermit, a couple One Piece chases, and this is their like Freddy's section, and there are some big Freddy pieces here. That Freddy Frankenstein. We have an original Disney Store Mayor up there, the metallic Mike Wazowski. All these older con pieces. I love to see that out in the wild because you really don't get to see these too often unless you go to like specialty shops or cons. And then come down over here, they have their little Star Wars section. I love this E3PO. The like metallic chrome one. He is really cool looking, and you know, for 25 bucks it's a pretty good deal for that Pop, because I just think it's a really good one. More One Piece over here. You can see that Trafalgar Law Boat, a couple of the Wanted posters, some more Freddy's. Look at that entire, it looks like the entire set of the chrome Freddy's. That's cool. The Director Freddy, which is one I've been eyeing up for a long time. A couple of the Zodiac Freddy's as well, which I know are very popular. But yeah, Fugitive Toys just killing it. And then they have a bunch of blind boxes over here in this section too, because they do other stuff besides just Funko Pops. But Funko Pops is their main go-to. Then coming over here, another Grail wall, and you can zoom in. This is some of their WWE, that Hollywood Hulk. We have a Paul McCartney from the Beatles, original Kiss set, Macho Man up, and there's Nelson coming into the frame. And then down over here, you see that Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. That was the con exclusive from last year. Original Winged Monkey. We have the Narwhal. Original Santa Claus. Next to the Bumble, which is, I love seeing those two. The Elvis up there, 1950s and 1970s. Original Master Chief. Glow in the Dark Jason Voorhees. Plutonium Glow Marty, which is a really cool Pop as well. A couple old Ninja Turtle stuff. The Big Bang Theory con exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con a couple years ago. We have the new Metallic Winged Monkey, a couple of Breaking Bad, Adventure Time, which you don't see often at all. That set is getting super hard to find. An original Genie, Mike Wazowski, Sully from Monsters, Inc., We have, what is this? Oh, my favorite. This is the Flocked Lotso. That is such an amazing piece. I just love it. It's one of my all-time favorite grails, and I was glad I was able to add that to the collection, rather recently. But yeah, that is such a good one. But yeah, look at all these older Disney Muppets. It's just so many different grails to choose from. That Tigger and Pooh, the mini 2-pack. What an amazing one. That is one I want to add to my collection one day, hopefully. So fingers are crossed on that. But yeah, this is just amazing. We kind of stumbled on a random booth over here. I didn't actually get the name of the vendor, but they had a lot of good pops. Since the outside of the booth, but they had a nice selection of some older and newer stuff. But down low, they had like a little damage section. And in that section, some of them weren't so bad, and they actually had a decent amount of like older good pops. Like right here, there's Peppermint Patty from the Emerald City Comic Con. And digging back in, we have the Super Grover here, which is a cool pop to see. But like most of these are just older IPs that are, I like to see because you don't really see them often. And coming into their Grail case, look at these. They have that Green Lantern Chase, Jason Voorhees Glow Chase. We have the Metallic Freddy as Elvis. Look at that Green Lantern with the giant San Diego sticker. This is such an amazing piece. And it does come in the clamshell as well. That is one I've been looking for, but it's just so expensive. So it's going to be really hard to put in the collection. But so many different grails here. Just a really, really nice selection at this booth of big pieces. And then coming on over here, you see they have that Otani 2-pack, the Obi-Wan Kenobi from New York Comic Con. And then some more grails down at the bottom, that Flocked Orange Bird, Flocked Chopper signed. We have a, signed Mojo Jojo, the glow-in-the-dark Lucky Charms, Lucky Leprechaun. So yeah, a lot of good pieces here. And then right at the next booth over, I noticed a lot of older pops as well, like this Daffy Duck from the Saturday morning cartoons and the Toucan Sam Funko Shop exclusive. Look at these older cereal ones. I love seeing these older cereal pops because that just reminds me of like old Funko, like great stuff. So yeah, this is just a really cool booth. It wasn't a huge selection, but the selection was really good. Because like look at that Ranger Smith from the Funko Shop. That was one of their Christmas drops. But yeah, this is just a nice selection of stuff that you don't really see too often. And they had a good deal. It was buy one get one 50% off here. So a really good deal on their pops, especially when you consider the age on some of these. Yeah, they were pretty much killing it. And then right next door, this booth had a ton of different Funko prototypes. And look how many are here. Freddy Funko prototypes, 10-inch prototypes, just so many different protos. And now you got to be careful with protos because you always want to check the lineage on these to see where they're coming from. But usually out here, like on the West Coast, these are all, direct from Funko, stuff like that. And this booth had so many of them. They had a couple production pieces as well, but it looked like their main highlights here were their protos, and they were killing it with these different, like a bunch of soda protos. Look at that Homer Simpson down there. And they have a Fright Night Freddy from that New York Comic Con event, the Fright Night. So that is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely some cool stuff. And look, we also have that new Thrill Joy Blue out here on display for sale. And then some more production pieces, that LeBron James, and more protos. Look at that Michael Jackson, the Freddy Soda, Freddy as Loki, Wonder Twins, so many different. We have an original John Lennon there from the Beatles Yellow Submarine set. Coming up top, their production pieces, that Speedy Gonzalez, one of my favorites. That Hall H Ahsoka, glow-in-the-dark Darth Maul. Yeah, this booth really brought the heat. And they did have some more common stuff behind as well. But look at these. These prototypes are just really fun to look at. Oh, and that Jason Voorhees Comic-Con. Whoo. And then we walked by a couple more booths, but this one really caught my eye because look how many different NFT pops they have. So many, and they said they redeemed all of them. So that is pretty impressive to have that many NFT pops at one booth. So I love seeing that. And like, again, some of the older serial stuff, some New York Comic Con stuff, just a lot of really cool pops over here at this booth to choose from. It was hard to really get a good view because you couldn't get back there. You had to just look from here. But as you can see, just a ton of different ones. And then right over here next door, the Turtle Van and the Indies Ride really caught my eye. This booth was really cool looking as well. There's another Director Freddy. It's really, really tempting me, but limited space in the luggage, so I'm going to hold off on that, I think, for now. But yeah, this booth definitely had some cool pieces as well. This was their, their more discount section over here on the outside. They were like $10 each. Some more common stuff. Some of it was older, but nothing too crazy over here. But like I said, that Indies Ride and the Turtle Van caught my eye. And then inside, Freddy's Ride, the red one, San Diego Comic-Con, that is on my list as well. I've been searching for that. I need this to complete my Freddy's Ride collection. So one day I will have to pick that up. And here's a couple more Freddy's down here. All different ones. That Freddy Big Boy's really cool looking. Freddy's Macho Man. More chrome metallic Freddy's as well. Look at this prototype from Fallout. That is cool. A lot of prototypes over at this con. And then look at this Disney up with the con sticker, the Carl and Ellie. That seems like a really good deal. I'm going to have to look into that because that seems like a great deal. And that is a great pop as well. I'm going to see if there's damage or anything on that box. That is a really good deal for that pop. One of my favorites. Taking a look at the Freddy's again. Then over here, some original Disney stuff. Flash from Zootopia. Also a really good one. Have that in my collection. Freddy Funko Pez dispenser. Joy from Inside Out. That is a fun one that's getting harder and harder to find. We got Brian Mariotti and Mike Becker sodas. I do love those. Those are fun to see. But yeah, this booth also not too big, but a really, really good selection of some really good pops. So definitely good stuff. And then literally right next door, this booth had a lot of bangers. Look at this Grail case. We have a couple of South Park, some Breaking Bad with that Jesse Pinkman. So the New York Comic Con pops, another Glow Jolly Roger, Chase Superman, the metallic one. Coming around here, we have an original Aaron Yeager, Flocked Animal, Freddy Funko as the Red Ranger. I do need that one as well. And the Blue Ranger. We have Ryuk from Death Note, which is a harder set to find nowadays. Freddy Funko Vision, Freddy Funko Kurt Cobain, right next to a regular Kurt Cobain. Another Making Fun Director Freddy. It is really, really calling my name. This is crazy. Ramona Flowers, that is a good one as well. We have another Ranger Smith with the Yogi Bear there, and we have some One Piece, some original One Piece stuff, which is really cool. But, oh man, that Making Fun Freddy's really, really tempting. Oh, we also have a Boo Boo Bear there as well, so that is the full set. A couple Game of Thrones pops down here, and then this is their little Freddy section, original Boo Berry. So yeah, this booth definitely killing it. And then coming on inside, a whole bunch of Game of Thrones pops, which I have noticed are getting really popular lately. A lot of people have been asking me for Game of Thrones, so if you're looking for Game of Thrones, there's a ton of them right here. Then coming on around inside, we have the Loft set, which is a really cool set as well. Some more Star Wars stuff and some ad icons, that HR Puffin stuff with the con sticker. Firefly, which you don't really see often either, and people ask me for those all the time. The Super Grover, this is the flocked 5,000 piece from the Funko Christmas drop years ago. But yeah, this booth was actually killing it as well. So many good pieces to see here. This con, with these smaller vendors, they've been really doing a good job with the selection of older pops. I love to see that. This is some of my favorite stuff to see, like these older Disney ones. That Disney Store Evil Queen. So yeah, this is just... I'm like right in my element here because I love seeing stuff like this. Love seeing older pops. Love hunting. Oh, look at the BoJack Horseman set. Mr. Peanut Butter. Oh, such a good pop. And then after walking around a little bit more, we stumbled on a gigantic booth. And this place was rocking. It was super crowded. There were pops everywhere. Look at all these Sailor Moons. And then look at the 3-pack here too. You don't see that often either. But that is a really sweet looking one. Sailor Moon, always in demand. So yeah, this booth had hundreds of pops to choose from, and they had so many good ones. And all their 10-inch ones were up top, 6-inch ones were up top, but so many different ones. I think this was Animatasia, which I've seen online. I've seen their shop online before, and I've never, seen them in person. And this is the first time, visiting a booth of theirs, and they did not disappoint because they had a lot going on. As you could see, there are a ton of different pops to choose from. They had sodas and stuff as well. They sold protectors, so anything you got here, you were covered in the Funko department because they had pretty much anything you could think of. So just giving you a quick tour of the booth. They had so many pops. Look at this little Freddy here on the snowboard. That is a cool looking Freddy. I've been looking for that one for a little bit, and it's just fun to see it here. So that is a cool one to see. And then some more Freddy, some other Pop Asia stuff down there as well. Pop Asia, you do see a lot of that out here on the West Coast, so definitely turn those. Some of the Street Fighters, that Hot Ryu with the old convention exclusive sticker. That is a cool one to see. There he is, that Freddy up close on the snowboard with the purple. That is a really cool one from the Winter Games. I might have to pick this one up because, you know, I haven't really seen it before in person, so I will think about this one. Over on their table, they got a couple more Pops here. Some of their more expensive ones, like that Dachshund from the Pets line, which they think they need to start making again. They should come out with some more pets and some more animal stuff like that. The Oliver Queen Future Toys exclusive. The Jollibee Glow in the Dark with Negan. Original Puss in Boots. What do we got here? Some cars at Doc Hudson. And in the front of their booth, just a couple, that Iron Man. But yeah, definitely a good booth. And then Toy Temple over here as well. They were right next to Funko. They had a bunch of their exclusive. And that Shrek, the pre-release with the mud on him. But yeah, they had a bunch of Pops over here, including their exclusive for the con. That was the Auntie Cosmo and Auntie Wanda. Really cool. And they actually had the con sticker over here, which was surprising. And they were doing a signing with the voice actors and the creator of the show as well. So that was really cool to see over here at Toy Temple. They did a great job during the show. And this was kind of winding down. But yeah, they did a great job. And then making our way over to this booth here. Again, a lot of older Pops to choose from. So, you know, this was really great. And look at all these Star Wars, a gigantic Star Wars section. A lot of blue box, some newer ones, but just so many different older ones. Look at that original, like Ninja Turtle stuff down there, Hair Bear. Just stuff you don't really see too often in person. So, again, a booth that I really do like to go through, dig through, and just hunt. And you never know what you're going to find. Always got to check the blue box on the Star Wars because you never know. With the font on it, could be the big font, which is like the first release. But these were all small font, as expected. But yeah, there's just a lot of really good looking Star Wars stuff. If you're a Star Wars fan, this booth really would have been great for you. And then coming on over here, they have some Marvel stuff as well. Older, new. Look at that, the Chef Deadpool. Do love that one. And then here are their grails. That Marvin the Martian and the Freddy Marvin the Martian as well. Green Chrome Batman, metallic Freddy as Captain America. More Pop Asia stuff down here, which is, again, fun to see in person. Some of the con sticker Pokemon stuff. That's the Jango Fett Walgreens exclusive. Eustace Kid from One Piece. We got some Flintstones here, the original Barney Rubble, which is always fun to see. A signed Mickey Mouse, Mr. Incredible, Pirate Freddy, Freddy Funko as the Clown from WonderCon a couple of years ago. Actually, that is one I need in the collection as well. But that's fun to see over at WonderCon. And coming down here, we have the set of the Dinos in the different colors. Those are the Funko Shop exclusives. And then zooming on out, just a little overview of this section. You see a lot of really cool looking stuff. Look at that Bam Bam from the Flintstones as well. Did they have Pebbles? I wasn't sure. I can't see if they have a Pebbles. They may have, but they, like Flintstones, they had pretty much every older one, which is cool to see. And then again, like I said, a lot of Game of Thrones I've been seeing in this booth. Is no different. Game of Thrones for sure. A lot of wrestling, some Ted Lasso there, some ad icons, a nice mix of good stuff. Look at this Freddy football player. He is a cool one. That is the original Nerd Freddy and the Happy Birthday. You used to be able to just buy those on Funko Shop whenever. The Spacesuit Freddy as well. He is really cool with that flag. I did just add that to my collection. And then the Space Robot one right next to it. And the Superhero Freddy. So yeah, I love, you know me, love seeing the Freddy. So yeah, this is a really cool selection as well. Alright, so yeah, that was WonderCon. And I gotta say, they had so many good things to look through, to shop, and just so many good Pops to choose from. And I love conventions that do it like that, where there's a lot of, you know, mom and pop shops setting up and different smaller vendors bringing out their inventory to show off some of the older and some of the newer stuff that they have, and just some really old grails that you rarely see. I love when conventions do that and don't just have the giant big name companies taking over. So I thought WonderCon was really, really good for that. It reminds me of like a smaller version of New York Comic Con, which is great, as we know, is my favorite. But yeah, WonderCon was great. The vendors were great, and I did manage to pick up a few things from those booths. And the first thing was this Carl and Ellie 2-pack from Up with the official San Diego Comic-Con sticker. Now, this one was shared. I do have the shared one in my collection. That was, I believe, shared with Box Lunch back then. But when I saw this with the con sticker, and it was a really, really good deal on this. I got this for $80. So, yeah, I can't complain about that. Anytime you see, like, an older Disney, especially Up, with the official con stickers, definitely always a nice grab. So, for that price, definitely could not let this one slide away. So, yeah, that is the box. Just Carl and Ellie, great pop. So, yeah, that was the first thing I did grab over at WonderCon. And the next one I grabbed, if you guys know me, you do know my love for Freddy Funko. And there was a Freddy that I've been wanting for a little bit, and I saw it at a booth, and I did grab it. And it is going to go right up there in this empty slot. And that is the 2023 Winter Convention. That is the snowboarding Freddy Funko. And now he just looks really cool with his purple snowboard, the purple goggles on. Like, I just think this pop looks really good. He's got, like, the snow underneath him. Like, this is just a really, really well done pop. Pop Asia. To be honest, I don't love the Pop Asia line, but I like the Freddys that they come out with, and I always wind up picking up a few Freddys from that line, and this one is really great, so I'm glad I was able to pick this one up. I don't remember exactly where this was exclusive to. It might have been like some event in Salt Lake City, I believe, but yeah, this was a great one. I've been looking for it, and I can't wait to add it to my shelf. So let me know, guys, what you thought about WonderCon and all the other vendors. What was your favorite pop that you saw there? Was there something that you would have picked up for your personal collection? And what do you think about the two that I picked up? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Also, let me know the last convention you've been to and if there are any that you are going to later this year. I know my next one will be over at San Diego Comic-Con, and I cannot wait for July to come. Cannot wait for that event. I'm glad you made it this far in the video. If you did like it, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Really help me out. Leave a comment. Do all that. Would really appreciate it. Would really help the algorithm. Helps the channel. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys being here and watching. And like I say, as always, thanks for watching.